Kindie Rockstars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindie crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindie Rockstars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindie Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindie Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. Joining me today is Mandy Morris from Music with Mandy. Mandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. So tell us about yourself and how you got into Kindie music.
So I am a jazz vocalist and children's entertainer and an arts educator here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I brought my love of working with children together with my love of jazz, and Music with Mandy was born.
Yeah, no, I could definitely tell. I listened to your songs and I could tell the jazz influence. I was going to ask you about that. That's sort of a unique sound from many of the people I've interviewed.
Yeah, I studied jazz at Grant MacEwan College or Grant MacEwan University, and I just fell in love with the art form. The city I grew up in is Medicine Hat, and they have one of the best jazz festivals, in my opinion. So I spent my childhood going and taking in those live music experiences, and the genre really speaks to me, and I just love swinging.
So what's the Kindie scene like there in Calgary?
It's a really tight-knit group of artists. We like to work together when we can. We try to support each other in any projects that we have going on. And there's some really great opportunities for performances when they're allowed, of course.
And so have you been out and about performing live in Calgary or elsewhere in Canada or any other part of the world?
This summer, I've been very lucky to be able to perform live in Calgary. I worked with some incredible drag performers actually this summer to do a Drag for Kids show featuring some of the music from my new album that's coming out in October.
Very good. So one of the questions that, because I'm curious about how everybody handled the lockdown, but how did you handle that? Did you have things scheduled that you had to cancel? And then how did you transition during that period?
Well, the music we're going to hear today was supposed to be recorded on March 16th, 2020. So we had to cancel the recording the day before, which was a really difficult choice because I actually had 5 young vocalists who were going to be featured on this album. And they had been rehearsing for 3 months to get ready for this performance. So this recording. So it was pretty heartbreaking to have to cancel. And then when we finally were able to go back into the studio, it was August and things were still working to keep everything as distant as possible and not singing together basically at all. So they weren't able to come into the studio the way we had imagined. So we kind of rewrote some of the music. We rearranged some stuff. We wrote some new songs and kind of transitioned the direction of the album, which I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I think that it really reflects the time and really starts to tap into those self-care practices that we had to establish during lockdown. And now I just have a lot more content, so I have a whole other album ready to go.
Excellent. All right. Are you ready to get into the songs?
Sure.
Our song today is called What's Your Name? So, Mandy, tell me what inspired this song.
This is a song that's all about meeting new friends and the information that you need when you meet a new friend. So the chorus of the song asks, "What's your name? What's your pronoun?" And it takes the listener through that moment of like first meeting someone that seems interesting and really wanting to get to know them and not quite knowing how to approach them. And then using the chorus to kind of get stuck in your head. I did purposely choose a bit of a melody that can play on repeat in your mind. Asking your new friend, what's your name? What's your pronoun? And then exploring what you can do if you make a mistake when referring to someone and you misgender them or you call them by an incorrect pronoun. And then the last verse is just all about self-empowerment and asserting your name and your pronoun, because you as an individual get to choose what you're called. No one else can tell you who you are.
Yeah, and I think as that's kind of come to the forefront recently with, I think, a lot of, there's some social media sites, I see that now where the person, like LinkedIn, for example, a person will have their name and their pronoun. And I've seen that actually at where I have my day job, that some people now include that. So, and yours is the first song I think I've seen address that particular topic. So
yeah, I am really passionate about it. And Instagram also is another one who has implemented pronouns. And I've brought it into just my daily conversation now too. When I meet new people, I try to introduce my name and pronouns, because sometimes you might guess wrong. And just by inviting someone else to share their name and pronoun with you, it can create a really meaningful relationship.
All right. Well, let's check this song out. Here is What's Your Name by Music with Mandy.
It's nice to meet you, and I sure would like to be your friend. Feeling shy, like I don't know where to begin. I like your shirt with a rocket that's in outer space. I like your hat, your shoes, and the smile upon your face. What's your name? What's your pronoun? I could guess, but that's really not fair. What's your name? What's your pronoun? 2 questions to show that I care. My friend Riley, I've known her since we both were 3. She makes me laugh, she's the best at climbing tall trees. When we met, I guessed that her pronoun was he. I was wrong, I apologize, now I call her she. What's your name? What's your pronoun? I could guess, but that's really not fair. What's your name? What's your pronoun? 2 questions to show that I care. My name's Mandy, and my pronouns are her and she. I'd be real sad if you called me Bob, Joe, or he. We get to choose just what we'd like to be called. It shows respect and love for all. What's your name? What's your pronoun? I could guess, but that's really not fair. What's your name? What's your pronoun? 2 questions to show that I care. What's your name? What's your pronoun? I could guess, but that's really not fair. What's your name? What's your name? What's your pronoun? 2 questions to show that I care.
All right. So, Mandy, tell everyone where they can stream and download that song and where they can find you on social media.
You can follow me on Instagram at Music with Mandy and on Facebook. You can listen to all of my music at Music with Mandy on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and anywhere you listen to music.
Excellent. Well, Mandy, thank you so much for doing the show. It's been great talking to you.
It's been so great talking to you. Thank you so much for having me.